optometrist and a mum. And I started children's safety glasses because as a mum, that moment when you first look into your child's eyes for the very first time is absolutely magical. And who wouldn't want to protect those beautiful big eyes with everything in fibre of their being? So why do we need to protect our children's eyes? And what do we need to protect them from? So I thought I should explain. Now, one of the most important things to remember is that UV, so sunlight, doesn't only damage your skin. Unfortunately, it does damage your eyes. And the effects of UV can be long lasting because UV light actually is linked to cataracts, glaucoma, macular degeneration, and you can even get cancers in your eyes. So how do we prevent this? It's easy, sunglasses. Now, the earlier you get your child wearing sunglasses, the better, because this damage is cumulative, like it is on your skin. And my tip for getting your child to actually keep the sunglasses on is get them something that has an adjustable strap. So my children have the no hat, no sunglasses, no sunscreen, no play rule before they go outside. And that tends to work really well. And so do some kindies that I have talked to, which is great. But I've also found that, particularly with my son, who's not necessarily the most gentle of souls, having sunglasses that have a bit of flex to them is a really good idea if you want them to actually last. That's one area covered. Okay, now another area that people don't tend to think about is chemicals. So we think about our babies and toddlers and children ingesting chemicals, but the other problem is that if they actually get any chemicals near their eyes, you can also do some damage. So what do we do? Well, keep your chemicals locked up in the laundry, in the shed, in the garage, under the sink. Keep them locked with a child lock. And if you happen to have any of those washing pods or dishwasher pods, just be very careful, because children think they look like lollies and they tend to bite them or squish them, and they can explode on their faces, or they can ingest them, and it can lead to serious consequences. So if that should happen, or they should get any chemicals in their eyes, please remember to keep flushing them with cool, clean water and just get them to medical care as soon as possible. Now, another area that people or parents don't tend to think about is some toys can actually be quite damaging to eyes and can actually lead to long-term visual damage and effects. So one really, really good example of this is Nerf guns. Okay, now my kids are like most kids. They love to play with Nerf guns, but they know that they need to wear tinted safety glasses to play with their Nerf guns, because unfortunately anything that's got a bit of propulsion behind it and it's small, if it actually hits the eye, it can lead to retinal tears and detachments, which can have significant effects to their vision in the long term. Okay, another one that can have an impact injury that does, well, scientifically they've actually done lots of studies and found that sporting eye injuries. You might not think that your little Johnny would be a child that this could happen to, but it can happen to anybody. Accidental eye injuries are called accidental eye injuries for a reason. They're not happening on purpose. It's just an elbow, a finger, a ball connecting with the eye socket area, or a stick if you're playing tennis or hockey or cricket or any of those bat and ball sports or any contact sports. These types of injuries are actually relatively common. And you think about like a hockey puck, if that hits you in the face, what sort of effects it can have. So if you wanted to avoid those, you can actually get sporting eye protection for your children, and it does not have to be prescription. So you can have prescription sports eye goggles or glasses, but you can actually get sports protection that doesn't have a prescription in it, which is what my children have. So basketball is one of the sports that has a really significant incidence of eye injury. Squash is one that can lead to blowout fractures, so they have made it mandatory that everybody wears eye protection to play squash. That's probably not the case if you're just doing a hit and giggle with your family, but if you're playing with a club, then they should advise you to wear eye protection. Now, another area that you may or may not know about is with swimming goggles. You can actually get swimming goggles that don't squish your eye socket. You can actually get swimming goggles that actually sit outside the eye socket, so they're less likely to cause subconjunctival hemorrhages. They don't have that, instant black eyes when you're taking them off. So that's why we use the Aquasphere swimming goggles, because they're good quality, they're made in Italy, and they don't sit in their eye sockets. So I hope this information is helpful to you. Okay, bye.